Hello and welcome back for the second time, Granny.
Yes, good morning and good morning, everyone. We did have a little bit of, Octo had a little bit of technical difficulty, which is why we're just a little bit late.
Yes, we won't say that we did our full spiel and we didn't realise we weren't live. And I was just saying, Granny, I've got some new Botox in the tentacles, so I feel like a new octopus.
Yes, your tentacles are looking very sprightly today.
Oh, I know, that's right. Yes. The amount of things I can do now. I can pick my nose, I can scratch my eyes, I can pretend I'm awake. If you tell stories, I can do this.
Yes. Right. I'm amazed. That's very good.
That's right. Yeah. So actually, how I did it is I took over Build-A-Bear. So I went there and pumped myself up through the little machine. So yeah, I wasn't paying for the for Botox from a reputable dealer, but
yes, I probably wouldn't suggest going to Build-A-Bear for Botox treatment.
Oh well, if you're an 8-foot handsome octopus as myself, and it was quite cheap actually. I just had to walk in there with a balaclava on, and they did it for free. So don't recommend those for those playing at home. So
yes, well, they probably wondered what they'd struck too.
Well, that's exactly right. Yeah, it's not very often you see an 8-foot handsome octopus with a balaclava slither through the door asking for a Botox injection into his tentacles.
Yeah, it's very true. Very true.
No, we've got someone waiting in the green room already because obviously they're quite proactive in our accountability live. But who do we have? Oh, it's John the reseller.
Oh, there he is.
That's right. It's good to see you, John. It's
morning, John.
What's been going on? He's got his little mohawk there, and he's fallen over. Professional bone daddy. I think he must either be getting ready for Halloween, but it looks it. But we'll put John away for the moment. So it's good seeing you, John. We'll talk to you a bit later. We'll go hello to the chat. So another octopus. Jeez, they're surrounded.
Oh, they're everywhere.
Can't take these people anywhere. All right. Good morning, Mary. How are you? I hope you're well, and hopefully you're still here. She put that comment there like 4 hours ago.
Good morning, Mary. Oh, I haven't sent you that photo of Willie, but I will send you a photo of Willie later.
It kind of looks a bit like Uncle Wayno, but we'll leave that at that. Josh G, finally got a live. Well, welcome. Hopefully you're hanging around a bit. I've seen him a bit in John the actual John the Resellers lives overnight. It's quite mysterious, this guy. He tends to flutter off quite quickly. Works at night time.
I've kind of come to the conclusion that he's either a security guard or maybe he's a stripper or something, because he always leaves at night to go to work.
I don't know. He's got dodgy facial hair. Maybe he looks like a bit like Blake. He's got his dodgy facial hair. Speaking of which, look, he's our serial pest right now. Hello, Blake. How are you?
Good morning, Blake.
Yeah, he's praising some guy in the chat. eBay's promoted tool. You'd like to tell us a bit about that, Blake? Yeah, but feel free to jump on if you can. Excuse me. All right, that's the StreamYard link. If you need it, use it. Jump in. Tell us what you're working on, what you're doing, what your preparations for Q4 are at this stage. Obviously, hopefully, you're more aligned with my preparations as opposed to Uncle Wayno's. If you haven't seen that, check out our previous podcast. He's definitely got an interesting take on his Q4.
He has very unique. Yes, but I still say that's the beauty of being a reseller on eBay, is that each of us can adapt it to our lifestyle that we want. So that's one of the best things about it, I reckon.
Well, and that's exactly right. And like I said, it's not I suppose a take that's brought up with many YouTubers. So it's definitely good. Yeah, like Wayno's cracking it, kicking it out of the park. So it's good.
Yeah.
Sydney, good morning, Sydney. Morning, Octo. I can't read the rest. It just says morning, Octo. Okay.
Oh, it's not very nice. Good morning, Andrew.
How are you, Andrew?
And look, Andrew's son, Ashton, gave me a good shout out last night in Chris Furlong's live stream. He actually is a bit keen. He showed my rap video at his school in class, and he's a bit keen to do a bit of a duet with me.
I think he actually offered to trade with his brother, or was that the other one? I can't remember.
No, that would possibly. Well, yes, that's possibly him, or the younger brother might have wanted to trade in Ashton. I don't know.
I can't remember which, but I did offer you in collateral. So, morning, Wendy.
Good morning, Wendy.
Oh, Blake's again. $20 jeans. You're not still complaining. She does nothing but complain, Blake. You know this, mate.
I just thought it might be funny to put it on my name.
Good evening, Ken. Hope you're well. I seen your Ken verse 10 yesterday, and like I mentioned to you yesterday, I'm stealing it. I thought it was pretty good. Super Pretendo. It's really hard to read with these painted on eyes, Granny.
Yes.
Good morning. That's good. I'm glad you're listening to driving to work. Make sure you're just not watching.
Yes, we will try not to distract you too much from your driving.
That's right. Yeah, if you're distracted by an old lady whinging about $20 jeans, you're probably not going to do well. Good morning, Cara. How are you? Hope you're well.
Good morning, Cara.
And stripper for sure. I don't know about that. Look at the dodgy facial hair on the guy.
Yeah, but it's not about the facial hair, is it?
Yeah,
it's all about the chest hair.
I don't know. I'm not asking him about that. Maybe you can type it in the chat to see what's going on. Speaking of which, we got someone else in the. Oh, there you go. The little brother Mason. Give you Ashton.
Yes, he asked me this morning when the van is coming.
It can be arranged. We're lining up some more hostages, so Ashton is quite possibly a target for future. So.
Yes.
And if he does want to pop on and become YouTube not famous because we're far from infamy, we might make a nighttime stream for him so we can attend there and jump on if he likes.
Well, there's probably school holidays coming up soon too, so he might be able to pop in during the live stream.
Yeah, that's right. We'll be covered with a bloody classroom full of kids on school holidays. Great. Anyway, we got a real person behind the scenes this time, so we'll bring them on. Hello, Blake. How are you?
Yeah, good. How are you?
I don't know.
Good morning,
I think you
Blake.
look suspiciously similar to someone we see in the chat, actually. Look at the facial hair comparison. You can almost say they're related. That's right. You can almost say they're related.
Well, someone's got to have bad facial hair, so I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah. So speaking of facial hair, how's your week been?
Yeah, not too bad. It's been all right.
Yeah. So what have you been up to? What have you been working on?
Hey, what have I been
working on?
Just listing, sorting stuff, pretty much. Sourcing, or just the normal reseller stuff. Really, just not a whole heap that's changed. To be honest with you, made a video yesterday and lost a whole 4 subscribers from us. So that's great.
Really?
Yeah.
Granny and I can't afford to lose 4 subscribers. We'll be in the negatives.
Yeah, no, it wasn't the reaction I was hoping for, but don't worry me. I don't care. But no, apart from that, just normal stuff, really.
So obviously that I was one of those 4 subscribers. Tell me about your video.
It was just like 5 things to consider before going full time on eBay, really. So just going over a couple of things. So
and Granny tells me there was a lot of big words in there. Maybe that's what scared them off.
I didn't even realise that.
Mate, might have been too much for their intellectuality, so they might have understood it, perhaps.
You know what people say? They say big words to sound smart, but they're not really that smart, and that's me. So
Now look at you going off. You probably sold a $20 pair of jeans as well.
Yeah, a $60 hat.
That's all right.
Well, it's actually a $7 hat, but they paid postage. It'd be the same person. It'd be the same person, I reckon, that bought something else. Yeah, it's the same guy. It's just a Holden cap. He bought a black one the other day and he's bought another one now. So he could have bought them together and got combined postage, but apparently not.
So you do you do a flat rate postage, do you, mate? Or
I do a flat 40. So So it was a $50 hat actually after all that. But I do a flat 40 for pretty much everything. That seems to cover things from clothing to shoes. So
because that'd be the 1 kilo rate, is it? So it would fit most things.
If I don't ship much more that's more than that, really. Like even on the high end, if I've got a heavier pair of shoes, it usually costs pretty much right on $40 with the Australia Post band. So
so do you only ship to selected places or do you ship to anywhere?
I ship pretty much everywhere, but I've got Ukraine and Russia ticked off the list, obviously, for obvious reasons. But I think I got Brazil turned off too because I had an issue with customs over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've sent 2 things to Brazil and not had an issue yet. But yeah,
So my Brazil problems that apparently that the customs took something out of the box. So that, not too sure how true that was, but
yeah, no, it was like it got returned because I didn't have all the forms, but I definitely did. So I don't exactly. So I was just like, yeah, and the buyer wanted me to send it back to him and stuff, but it would cost me another God knows how much money. So I just ended up cancelling the order.
Yeah,
it's not worth it.
We have Helo's World, welcome. And we've been asking that question for at least 2 months now, Helo.
Exactly. Well, I found out when Chris Furlong uploaded his video yesterday that this is actually working, the subliminal messaging that we're getting through with the donuts, because he saw donuts and thought of us. And that's what's going to happen. People are going to see donuts in everywhere when they go shopping. And what's going to come to mind? They're going to think of Octo and Grumpy Granny.
That's right. The lack of donuts that they're getting.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe we should put a specification on the donuts that we want. We don't really want the Woolworths ones.
No. Well, let's
cheap way out.
Make that. Yeah. I thought we did that early on. We want those. What are they? Is it Donut King or some special place where they only sell donuts?
Krispy Kreme or something.
Krispy Kreme. Yes, that'd be
expensive taste.
That's exactly right. Only the best for Granny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Cream filled.
So
is that your favourite Helo, or is that what you're probably fantasizing about? You'll have to tell us about. And speaking of which, Granny, obviously our loyal followers want to send us donuts by the sounds of it. What's your favourite kind of donut?
Well, I really don't get many donuts around here because the only donuts I have access to is at the local supermarket. And the ones I get there have the pink icing on it I quite like. But I did once in Melbourne have one and had like a custard in the middle, and that was delicious.
Yeah, they're nice. What are they called? They were called custard monkeys, I think, when I got them. Me and a guy, me and a co-worker, we used to just call them busted kunkies. I don't know why. We just thought it was a cool name. They tasted good though.
Yeah. Nice.
Maybe don't share cream-filled donuts with your friends, mate. Hello, Wayno. How are you?
Good morning, Uncle Wayno.
Your video from last week is doing pretty good, Wayno. Everyone likes your suggestions of doing nothing. That was the key takeaway everyone took.
Music's to everyone is. Music to everyone's
exactly right. Yeah, it works so well with their accountability hour.
Good influence.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he really likes his cream-filled donuts. Krispy Kreme original or nothing. Oh no, Cara, what are you doing?
Cara, what are the Krispy Kreme original? Are they just a plain donut, or what's the story? Because I've never had them.
So, Cara's probably going to write. She's probably writing back as we speak, but they're really lightly sugar glazed. So they're probably the one. They're probably, if you see Krispy Kremes advertised, they're the ones that generally are associated with Krispy Kreme.
Right.
Just taste like crap.
Ah, I want better ones than that then.
Well, that's exactly right. Well, his accountability goals are on track then, by the sounds of it.
Good work. Good work, Wayne. Good work, Wayno. Well done.
Yeah, I see. Glaze, there you go. Yeah, so basically it's just a sugar glaze. Hot, light, crispy are hard to beat. Do you have many Krispy Kremes over there, Helo? Not. We've really only got them in the capital cities, and our gas stations, stock them as well now. A certain line of the gas station stocks them, but I'd say we've probably got maybe 10 to 15 Krispy Kreme locations across the country, and that's it.
Yeah. That's 7-Eleven that stocks them. Is that?
Yeah, yes. So 7-Eleven. Yeah, we can't say that word because they Vero us. They're in my bad books at the moment. I've had three Veros in the space of a week.
Really?
Yeah, I'll talk about that a bit later. Don't like donuts, or you can't come on the podcast anymore.
Do me a favour.
Follow me for more great reselling tips. That's right. Like I said, there was a lot of engagement with your mythology on life, I suppose.
Yes.
We'll send one down to you, Leanne. Hopefully it's not mouldy by the time it gets there.
Yeah, I don't think they deliver out here.
No. Big cities have them, but there's a lot. Yeah, okay. Because really, I think it never really took off here. We have them at the the major airports, and like I said, a few dotted around the capital cities, but that's really the extent of it. The chocolate sprinkle ones and the Boston cream ones seem to be the ones that sell out at a local place that we go, but not too bad from there. So Blake, have you had any Veros lately, mate?
Not lately, thankfully. But it seems to be a thing that's going around. I did a while ago for Rocket League, just a T-shirt, listed it up, and this is when I first started eBay, and I didn't know what Vero meant, so I was like, "Oh, they took me listing down and put it straight back up again." Copped another one straight after, and got the 3-day ban. So I haven't done that again.
Oh, okay. So you got the 3-day ban on the second morning, did you?
Yeah, I got it on the second.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But then, so I haven't had one since. I've been very careful with all that stuff because I don't want to get a Vero. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, it's not worth it. I've got one of those Sky Dancer dolls. Like, it's not a flying one though. It's the actual body of it's a plush. Like, it's a stuffed body, and then like it's quite tall. It's actually meant to be.
Have you got something against plush?
No. But it's one that you can play with. Like, it's not one that you make fly, right? But see, the ones that fly are banned, and you're not allowed to list those on eBay. But I thought this other one, because it doesn't fly, like it's a doll basically to play with. I listed that, and I got told they took that down. So
is it because was it a licensed one, or is it just?
Well, no, it's because they told me it was because they're banned. But that's not actually one of the flying ones, and I've seen them. Other people have listed them. About $80 or $90, but Grumpy Granny's got taken down. That was a bit rugged.
Yeah. But I'm actually surprised. Long story short, I got a Vero for using 7-Eleven as a keyword. They didn't like that, probably because they're fighting with the brand that ripped them off. They took this brand kind of did a little bit of a piss take out of the 7-Eleven chain. So, from what I've seen and what I've gathered, they're actually 7-Eleven's taken them to court. So. Using keywords in that specific listing was a big no-no, and they got taken down. But another one, Build-A-Bear. Like I listed a Build-A-Bear plush and used a stock photo just to show what it looks like. They took that one down. But stupidly, I got another Build-A-Bear and thought I'd use the same trick and see if I could slide past them. Got the second warning, but they didn't tell me I was like they said if I did it again that they'd give me the 3-day suspension.
So was that for the stock photo or for the Build-A-Bear?
Yeah, so it was on the stock photo. So basically, I've sold a lot of Build-A-Bear before and never had an issue. It's just I think it's a recent thing, to tell you the truth. Like so. The first one got taken down was, you mightn't be able to see it, in the background of that one, like next to John's hand, there's a little bear, looks like a little white bear. So that was the one that got taken down originally because I used a stock photo for that. And you can't really see, but the clothes that she's wearing in that one, I used the stock photo for that as well, and they got taken down. But like I said, I relisted them probably a couple of days later without the stock photos. Just took some better photos and stopped being lazy. Don't take Wayno's account. take his advice in regards to stock photos. And they sold pretty much instantly, and there was no mention, no backlash from there. So definitely stay away from Build-A-Bear stock photos. And it's probably a good thing to not use stock photos because it's very hit and miss in regards to what they do. So I'm a creature of habit, right? If why recreate the wheel? I'll take a stock photo. I'll use my own photos as the main listing photos and a couple of others, but then I'll actually use the stock photo if it's available, just to give people an idea of what it looks like. And these are just obviously new items, or very new items. So I checked the list. I checked the Vero list, and neither Build-A-Bear or this other company was on there. So
it's weird. It's it's inconsistent. Like you don't really know what the go is half the time.
Do you think it's more prevalent though when you're reselling new items that they might be checking them more often than they do?
Well, it could. Well, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Like with Build-A-Bear, I haven't actually. Well, I just took associated because the actual comment in the email saying, you need to take your own photos. Which pretty much said to me that take your own photos. But I listed them as brand new because they are brand new with tags. The ones I've listed, with the clothes and the actual bear itself. Then, like I said, it sold within a couple of days. But that Build-A-Bear I listed last night, and it was taken down about 5:30 this morning. So I don't know if it's an eBay sweep or it's actually a company sweep that's doing it. So
Yeah.
I have heard that companies and stuff do crack down a lot more on new items because it's like because if you sell something for the second time, then you've pretty much got the right to do so. But if you're selling something as brand new, then you're almost taken away from the company doing that themselves. So sometimes they'll come after you a bit more for the newer items than they do with the pre-owned stuff.
Yeah.
So.
And I think also from what my understanding is too, it's same with like if you're selling pre-loved stuff, but you've got say something new and listed as even like new, it still comes up basically as new other in the listing, and they're probably my understanding is you'll get cracked down on those ones as well. So I actually list mine now as anything like that as pre-owned just in case. Because Levi's one, like if you've got new with tags, Levi's never try and list those internationally because the different countries have different licensing for those, and you can get them.
It's the same with Nike over to Europe, I think, because certain models aren't available over there. So if you're trying to sell a certain model that's not really available over there to those countries, then you can get taken down for that as well.
Yeah, the European Union have a lot of protection laws in regards to imports because of the forgery and counterfeit. They got a lot of laws that relate to that. Because I remember when I was in France, they basically they didn't really care that I was bringing in people. All they cared about is that I wasn't bringing counterfeit items in. So like I said, you just really need to be careful of the European Union. Levi's, I got brand new Levi's listed at the moment as new with international shipping on. They haven't really attracted any attention yet. So that's something that I'm probably going to keep an eye on just as well. But definitely, I think, I'd be very, very cautious. And like Blake was saying, is that there's no definitive list, and that's probably why I didn't get smacked with the second Vero that I got for Build-A-Bear. Was that well, what could you do? Like, yes, you should have learnt the first time, but my nine brains weren't working. But if I went back and cross-reference the list, Build-A-Bear wasn't on there. What can you do? Where was it? I lost it.
Yeah, and you want to be careful there because if you get another one for those Levi jeans.
Oh no, it's only for that company. So basically, they're individualized. So if I did another Build-A-Bear, I'd get smacked. But if I did a Levi one, so that 7-Eleven one, they took down 9 listings. In one foul swoop, and I thought I was going to get done for like a 7-day suspension, but they just classed that as one Vero. So I relisted those items. I relisted those items without the 7-Eleven keyword because if you're after that specific brand, you'll know what it is if you're after that shirt. And because obviously 7-Eleven looks like they've taken this company to court from what I gather. It's made the product infinitely more valuable, so I tripled my price. A FedEx shirt taken down. Is that to do with uniforms? I'm pretty sure that if it's a current uniform for a lot of places that it brings it down. I think I've heard other resellers talk about FedEx having government contracts and playing into that space.
I've heard of that stuff too because impersonators they crack down on it for people impersonating like FedEx employees and stuff.
Yeah. How can I kidnap people if I can't wear a FedEx shirt?
Just kidnap the FedEx driver. Take his uniform.
I was about to say that's exactly right. Yeah, they'll work out I'm an octopus if I haven't got a FedEx shirt on.
Well, we saw Mel in her new video when she was showing some stuff over in America when she was over there. She literally chased the FedEx truck down. She stopped the FedEx truck.
Did he ever go to? Like, I listened to it a couple of times, but I couldn't actually understand what he said.
I don't think he could work out what was going on. He must have thought she wanted to send a parcel, and she's going, "No, I'm just from Australia. I wanted to have a look at your truck."
Yeah, but,
he had a laugh at the end, I think.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen Mel before, but I wouldn't. I'd be driving pretty quick if I seen a blonde crazy woman chasing me down the road as well. Where are we? I've lost the chat. Do you think it's other resellers reporting? It could possibly be. Like, I know that, and this is what we've touched in the podcast, but I'll give you a bit of an exclusive chat. If you're looking at sourcing, especially in the Q4 season, join Facebook groups because they'll actually tell you what people are after. And that's where these products came from. And that's possibly why, I got hit with a Vero for is because, there's a lot of disgruntled people. Funny that they couldn't get these products, and I was able to get them and resell them at stupidly obscene amounts. So there could possibly been another reseller, or it could have possibly just been an end user that's cracked the sads that they couldn't get it at retail.
There's a lot of sour people out there, unfortunately.
Absolutely, Cara. That's my business model too. Because if you undersell and over deliver, like the customers are so happy when they get stuff. If you've listed it, I don't think there's hardly anything in my store I've listed as excellent. Usually it's just good. Might be occasionally very good, but it would have to be really like new. Or if it is new with tags, I might put very good. And they get stoked when they get it and say, oh, this is, so much better than I thought it was going to be.
I did that yesterday, and the customer got a snapped DVD disc, which is great. So they messaged me. They're like, "Hey,
did you put that under good? Or, was that good or very good condition? You put it under?
No, it was just good, but it wasn't snapped when I sent it.
Oh, okay. Because I got some snapped DVDs here. I didn't know to put them in good or very good condition.
And they're like, "Oh, it arrived snapped and stuff." It was a $5 DVD, so I just flicked them a refund, and I got really positive feedback. They were so grateful and all that sort of stuff. That's fine, but for the sake of $5, I'm not going to fight it. Like,
that's exactly right. Yeah, but did you check their feedback to see if they were a serial offender?
No, they were fine. There was nothing wrong with them, and they were really nice about it. They're like, "Hey, just wanted to let you know that this happened," and that kind of stuff. So if they're the kind of buyers I don't mind dealing with. Like, they weren't coming at me all aggressive.
I was going to say, unless you're sending it in a paper envelope, I don't know how a DVD gets snapped in the mail. The case being shattered.
That's what he said as well. And I've got these bubble mailer things that I send all my DVDs in anyway and stuff. So I don't know if I overlooked it or it wasn't, or it was like that in the first place. I don't think so. But like I said, for the sake of $5, I'm just gonna give him a refund and get him off me back. Really,
right. Yeah, well, that's exactly right. And you don't want to open up a case against you like item not as subscribed, because what that does to your traffic.
I've stopped selling a lot of DVDs because they're pretty much the only ones I ever get complaints about. There's like a lot of DVD people, so I'm like, I don't get a lot of complaints about clothing apart from people not knowing what size they are. That's about it.
Oh, yes.
You're right. Yeah. Ready, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I've had to take photos this morning, which I haven't sent the customer yet. So I listed a pair of those Italian denim jeans. What are they? Italian Star jeans yesterday. Yeah. And so, someone, the measurements and everything are in there, but they want to know, are they like a size 10? Well, I don't know. So, look, so what I've done, and I find this the easiest way to get around that, I've pulled out a pair of just jeans size 12, because that's a pretty common brand. And then I've pulled out the only other size 10 I had in my boxes at the moment was a pair of David Lawrence size 10. So I've laid these Italian Stars on top of them, taken a photo so she can actually see what the difference is. And I'll send her those photos to show. Because just look at the measurements and go and measure your own jeans.
I hate those kind of buyers, because the last thing I want is to have to go through my whole inventory and pick out the right number and pull it out of its bag and get me tape measure out, and when I've already done all the measurements. It's frustrating.
And to be quite honest, if they were a pair of $20 jeans, if they're a pair of say $24 or $27 jeans, I probably wouldn't have bothered, and I would have just said, "Oh, look, the measurements are there, blah 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 blah." But these are a $70 pair of jeans, so it's kind of worth it a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree. I've done the same a couple of times for some really expensive G Stars and stuff like that, when I've got listed for $70 or $80 and that sort of thing. So I will help out in that situation, but for you just run of the mill normal jeans, I won't really bother. I'm just it's there.
Yeah.
So when you put your products in your plastic sleeves, I can see them behind Granny's head. But do you write the measurements on the bag themselves, or do you just put them in the bag with the number and off you go?
No, put them in the bag with the number, because all the measurements are actually in the photos. So I can just go and look at the listing and pull up the measurements. That's fine. But it's when these, because these are listed as, their sizing on these is small. That's what the size is. It's small. So it doesn't say that it's a 26 or it's a, 25 inch, or it's an 8 or a 10, it says that it's a small. And I guess that's where the issue is with those. But yeah,
they're the confusing ones.
Yeah, because like I said, I think last week is I actually used one of the Dymo labels, slap it on the front with the measurements that I've handwritten on there. So yeah, if someone comes back and like Blake says that, hey, what's the measurements of this? So I'm not actually double handling. I'll just take the bag out and take a photo and say, hey, look, this is what I measured. Take it or leave it. Or I'll just block them and add them to my very, very, very long list of blocks.
Yeah, I do the same, but I include as many measurements as I possibly can, and I put them pretty far up, like close to the start of the list, so everyone can see that, what the measurements are. But people still don't. People still don't see it. But I got neutral feedback the other day. They're saying it's not the right size. It doesn't fit me. And I just contacted eBay straight away. I was like, the measurements are there. I've got free returns for 60 days. They chose not to use it and just left neutral, and they got rid of it within 5 minutes. It was just gone straight away.
I just normally respond to them and tell them to lose weight, Tubby. I find that works. So. Cara, if it's in excellent condition, she'll put very good, which is something similar I do. Because I think there's a few resellers when I first started watching the YouTube resellers that mentioned that, which I thought was a really good idea. I'll float around the good to very good. Acceptable if it's probably, I suppose, what normal people would class as good, and unless it's super rare, if it's falling apart, I just throw it in the bin. Same thing, which is good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, the books are probably something that becomes because you have to put a grading on the books. So you don't just get to say whether it's pre-owned like you do with clothing. So you have to actually choose what you're going to list it as. But yeah, I always work out what I think it is, and then I go one under. Yeah,
I do the same.
Yeah. And I know we've spoken about Funko Pops before, but I actually put a caveat in there. I think like about 14 photos of Funko Pops. And I actually just put in there saying, please refer to photos for box conditions, as it might be imperfections or something along that. So unless it's visually smashed up, I'll put I won't put box damaged in the title, but I'll actually put it like the first line in bold place, redirecting into the photos. That's the way of getting around that. And apparently UPS as well, which kind of I suppose makes sense, because UPS to me is like Australia Post, which is probably government ran, so that makes sense.
I got an Australia Post hat not long ago. I didn't list it. I kept it myself. So I don't know when I'm going to wear it. But
I was going to say, just in case, well, send it to me, because I'm actually I'm in the process of doing a short that involves Australia Post unofficially. So
I'll send it to you.
I might put it in my head and just blend in. They won't know anything. Well, I don't know about you, but half the people who work at Australia Post, I'd probably pass as an Australia Post worker.
I'll send it to you because I've got no use for it. I just got to sit aside. But I was like, this is cool. I'm not going to wear it. I can't sell it, so I don't know what to do with it.
So Super Pretendo, no issues with snap discs or cases until this week. So 3 this week. That seems like a bit heavy-handed.
Interesting.
Bubble wrap. So this is curious, Blake. I know Wayno sends his ways, and there's other resellers that send them. But how do you send yours? Do you just put them in that padded envelope and off it goes, or do you put bubble wrap around it? Or?
Yeah, no, I do, because these are fully bubble wrapped on the inside as well. So they've got I don't know if you can see that, but I got that.
We can't all agree.
Yeah, so it's a pretty thick bubble wrap on the inside. So single DVDs I just put in there, but anything that's 2 and above I bubble wrap like 3 or 4 times and put them in a satchel. For the most part, or if it's expensive, I'll use a box. But I've never had issues before until this time. So, whether or not I overlooked it, but I did take photos of it all, so I don't think I did. But
so I normally use EB Pack. I think that's the company. They have metallic envelopes which are really strong and they cut you, which is great. So that's what I use them for.
That's who these are through. They're through EB Pack as well.
So I pay the metallic ones, which is I think the next one up from there. I don't have any problems. So unless the DVD or the game's over probably $75, I'll put it in a box from then. But I'll just use those. I've never had any issues. Like if it's under $30, it'd be just untracked. Over $30, it goes with the tracking. So But I don't know how a lot of these people justify using the tracked envelopes through Australia Post.
Well, I mean, that's essentially why I've gone away from DVDs, because you know, I mean, look, I often found the majority of DVDs that I sold were going to Western Australia, and apparently they prefer them to be tracked because it does take so long to get over there, and, you know, it's best for them to have them tracked. But yeah, I wasn't selling enough to make it worthwhile, and because I wanted to do the tracked model, not the untracked model, it's just not worth it. So,
and Brad from Two Aussie Thrifters and Wayno, they love DVDs, but I've personally moved away from DVDs and video games just for that very reason. Just the high, I'm not received, because like 9 times out of 10, you can tell it's got there. They're probably just taking the piss. But like you're saying, and I think that Brad might have a different opinion to this, but I find that DVDs and video games are being treated as the gateway for new resellers. So they're coming in not knowing how to resell, and they're just flooding the market or undercutting the market. And like Wayno said last week, was that things are coming in. I'll speak of the devil. Hello, Wayno. You had a shave, mate.
Oh yeah, I did that. I did that before the other night show, I think.
Okay.
That
was baby face, mate.
That was the Monday show, so no one watched it.
How are you?
I couldn't not jump on when you're talking about DVDs.
It's like summoning the devil. So, what's your thing on DVDs, mate?
Sold thousands of them. Bubble mailers. I've never had a broken one. Never. Yeah. And I barely. What
bubble mailers do you use, mate?
Sorry?
What bubble mailer do you use? The Australia Post one or a different one?
No. They cost a fortune.
Yeah.
They're like 20 cents each.
Yeah, it's the exact same one that I use as well.
Yeah.
So 500 of them at a time.
In a box. Yeah. So what Blake and Wayno use, I use the next model up just for marketing reasons. There's not, nothing other than that. And I've never had an issue with broken DVDs and broken cases through that packaging. But I've seen people just send them in those tracked envelopes without any protection on them. I don't know. I don't know how that model works because, it's just smashed up.
Yeah, so it was the third disc, so it was a three disc thing, and the third disc was like a bonus feature one. So whether or not they said they didn't care about the disc or whatever, blah 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 blah. So they weren't going to leave feedback or anything. But they could have just snapped it to get a refund or something because they weren't going to use it or something like that. But I know for sure it wasn't broken when I went in there, and I've sold hundreds of DVDs as well, and I've never had an issue. So I don't know.
You'd better catch up on the chat there, Octo. We've got some international people and all sorts of things going on there.
Cheaper, I agree 100%.
I agree with that.
Yes, agree with that. Yes.
Okay. Untracked letters, yes.
Yes. Yes.
we need to get you. We need to get you on one time, Cara, because you're obviously a voice of reason.
It's worth the money.
It's not business advice.
It's not business advice. Yes.
Yeah, but
sometimes, especially when it is a cheaper item, sometimes it's better to do that. And I'm just pop me out for a minute, Octo, because
no questions there.
You don't have to tell me twice. Yeah, so like Wayno might be able to explain this to me, but how could a disc snap in half if the case is not shattered? I can understand getting loose and being scratched to hell.
Or it maybe it could if there was enough pressure on it. The thing is, if you send it as a large letter, it goes with the letters, so it's not going with all the heavy parcels and stuff.
No, that's right.
It's the heaviest thing in the letters, like usually. So someone's got to stand on it basically for the disc to snap.
But the case would give way before the disc, though.
You'd think so.
You would think so, but I mean, so this is one thing I have so if you press hard enough, you could probably snap the disc without snapping the case if it was in the perfect spot. The thing I don't like is when people ask to put a layer of bubble wrap in there. So the reason discs come out in transit is when that button is pressed.
Pressure. That's right.
The center button that holds the disc, when that's pressed. So if you add something in there, that just means it's easier for that to get pressed, and then the disc comes loose. So, if I'm listing DVDs and the case has a really shitty disc holder, I'll just switch the case. Most of the time, I don't. I don't have any. I have the occasional one. I had one the other day. It was from a guest buyer. I don't know how eBay allow guest buyers. It's bullshit. So he just said it didn't arrive, and it was a new account. It was a $10 DVD. I just refunded him.
Yeah.
But the other thing is you need to report. I haven't done it, but you need to report those buyers. So, like we always see buyers that leave heaps of negatives for people, things like that. If you don't actually report them, nothing happens to them.
Yeah.
If they're a non-payer and you don't report them, nothing happens to them. You have to actually report them, and then once they get a few reports against them, then eBay will do something about them.
Take some action against them. Yeah.
Yes, I was sitting here and all of a sudden a little notification popped up on my laptop because I hadn't been looking at the battery, and it was said, your laptop will go to sleep if you don't plug it into the power.
That's good.
She didn't like that one.
give him a bit of power and it just goes to his head.
Hey, I've got the mouse. I can't show you the mouse because my tentacle's floppy at the moment. The Botox is wearing out. Special talent is that I'll give you the measurements of any woman's clothing. I can tell you the size. Okay,
wow,
there you go.
Pretty amazing.
Thrifty Pixie on Instagram. So make sure everyone reach out to her and ask her for measurements. She's happy to do that.
I was going to say, Jada does that too, doesn't he? He just puts it on.
Oh, that's exactly right. Yeah.
He wears a bit of women's clothing.
Yeah.
The bubble mails don't go through letter machines. It's literally bend them in half on occasion. So that's the issue.
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see it as being true. Even if it is, because I literally don't have any that get damaged.
Because and I suppose to that as well, like Wayno, is that you've got certificates to go through with just that really thin layer of cardboard. A lot of those would be rocking up, bent in half if that was the case. But like Jake might work in the Australian Post and have more knowledge than I do. But I very rarely, I don't even think I've ever had a broken case using those envelopes that Blake and Wayno just showed us. So
I think it was a buyer doing a dodgy. To be honest, that's what I would lean towards because
either that or someone, an Australia Post workers dropped it and stood on it or something.
Yeah, but like you had the disc 1 and 2 were in that floppy bit in the middle, which seems to be more fragile than the actual solid bit that's on the case. So, and it was the actual back one that was the one that was damaged. So I thought the other ones that were floating around would be the ones that get damaged. But but like I said, for the sake of $5 or $8, whatever it was, I just flick them a refund and get them off me back. It's not worth it. It's not worth fighting.
I hope Figsy's not in here, mate. But if it's multi-disc for $5 or $8, I'm not listing that.
Well, it fell to me markdown, so I had it listed for a long time and that sort of thing, and it just went. Like I said, I'm getting rid of a lot of my DVDs and just sort of getting out of that space.
Yeah, throw them all to Wayno. Wayno's pretty CO box down the bottom. Just had all your unused and unwanted DVDs there. 2,000 DVDs.
I can see why people have moved on from them. They're getting so much harder to find them. Find decent ones anyway.
Just resellers sloppy seconds everywhere.
And like Wayno was saying previously, I was going to say, like Wayno was saying previously, is that the market changes every 2 or 3 weeks. Like a $60 DVD now could be worth $5 tomorrow. So
yeah. And it's very hard if you don't know what movies are going to sell for big money. Like when I started, like I was sort of picking up any ones I could find. Kids ones, it didn't matter because you knew you could always bundle kids ones up, and they're probably going to sell. But too many people go and just buy willy nilly, which I originally did, and you get home and they're worth $5, and
Yeah. I don't have the knowledge like someone like Wayno, and I don't watch movies myself, like in general. Like I don't really watch movies, so it doesn't really interest me that much. So I don't have the interest to take the time and try and learn all that sort of stuff. So, and I don't want to spend hours on my computer comping everything to do that sort of thing. And when I know more about clothing and video games, I still sell video games, but DVDs it's not really.
That's like me with shoes. I couldn't give a fuck about them. I have no interest in learning them. None. Even if they sell for heaps of money.
I just use
I-
Google Lens. I don't like shoes, but I use Google Lens.
I don't want to clean them. I've seen people clean the bloody shoes, and that's enough for me to turn me off them.
Chuck them in the washing machine. That's all I do.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want them.
My worst DVD pickup was one that I picked up at one of my local op shops in the next town, and it was a French one, and I comped it while I was in the store because I thought, this is something different, and so I comped it, and it was going for about $80, and I thought, oh, a ripper, and I opened it up and had a look, and it all looked good, and then got home and everything, and then went to take photos of it. And it was when I actually opened it up properly and went to take a photo of the inside of the case that I could see that the actual cover was printed. And so then when I pulled the disc out properly and had a look at it, it was a burnt CD, burnt DVD, I mean.
Yeah.
It's funny, like I can pick a fake DVD from a mile away, but I've still bought them by accident.
Yeah.
Like, because you're just not really thinking, like, you're not in a hurry when you're thrifting, but you don't want to be standing there all day, like.
Like when I first started reselling, like you said, it's an entryway, and that's what I started with, was a lot of DVDs. But I got this real good deal that I thought was this big box of, like, I think it was like 400 or something in a couple boxes of DVDs and stuff for like 30 or $40. And I was like, oh, killer, great. So I went all the way down to Geelong, brought them home, didn't open the boxes or anything, came home, looked at the top layer, everything was great, took off the first couple of layers, and all the rest were completely fake, burnt DVDs the whole way down. There's probably about 10, 20 good actual ones that weren't worth anything. So I pretty much just took the boxes, put them straight in the bin. It was just, I was pissed because I lived in Lismore at the time, and that was like an hour and a half to Geelong. Yeah. So I've done 3 hours of driving for a heap of fake DVDs. And that's when I first started. So it's a lesson you learn, though, isn't it?
I was going to say that's something you do learn pretty quick. Wendy has asked the question: can you do a fundraiser on eBay and donate money to a cause? I think there is an option that you can donate. I definitely know in the US and the UK that you can, donate your selling costs, but have a talk to your accountant. This is where we would insert a promo for Ethan Rushock if we had some donuts, but have a chat to your accountant just to see how it works, because obviously if you get the money from eBay, then redonate it that way, you could probably use it as a tax write-off, opposed to if you sell it through eBay, you might not be able to use it as a tax write-off. So just have a talk to your accountant how that system works. But I'd rather have the money paid to me than you can disperse the funds knowing full well where it's going. And then eBay is not taking credit for the donation.
Yeah, true. But, we certainly wouldn't want to mention the reseller's favourite accountant, Ethan Rushock, would we?
Not yet. Packing peanuts, that goes to what Wayno was saying with the little button as well. So, each to their own. We're not saying that you have to do it one way or another, but personally, I've never put any bubble wrap layer in there. And I've never had an issue. So, like I said, if you do and it works, good. If you don't and it works, good.
I started putting the peanut in after Chris Furlong showed me that little trick, more so because it doesn't make a noise then.
Yeah, I was about to say, we've got a peanut in here, but she still makes a noise, but that's all right. So, so Ping's from Anaheim. Hello, Ping. I've been to Anaheim a few times at Disneyland.
Good morning. It's probably possibly not morning over there.
No, I think it's probably closer to afternoon, evening. I think Ken's in the central, so whatever we're around to that. So, Lucky, tell us about it. We need Media Mail.
Yeah, somebody asked me about that yesterday. Media Mail, they'd been watching a YouTube video on selling books, and the Media Mail had been mentioned, and they wanted to know, did we have it? And said, unfortunately not.
Yeah, we need a lot of things.
I don't know how much Media Mail is. Is it only a couple of dollars? Is that what the draw is?
Yeah, it's a lot. Well, I mean, I think you can send up to a certain weight, but it's a lot cheaper rate than what you would normally pay for something. But at the same time, so you can send a book or DVD or a CD, so any of that sort of media, but you can't send a magazine that's got advertising in it.
Yeah, so it's unless they open the package, how would they tell?
Yeah, well, that's true, but yeah.
We said all tracked because our buying costs pretty low. That's exactly
Yeah.
right. Like, so 2 Aussie thrifters and Cara and Daniel, they basically get their DVDs by pallets and pallets and pallets, and they pay a pretty low cost. I think what Brad said was about 10 cents per DVD or something like that. So, if you are selling your 10, well, they've got a lower threshold, but if you are selling a $15 DVD for that you're sourced for free, you probably swing the tracking, but.
And they're not selling the cheap ones either.
No.
So.
What's their limit? Was it $30?
30 and above, I think.
Yeah. That's definitely a good model for new resellers to get into, like just to save their house turning into a hoarder zone.
Hard though. It is hard because the majority of stuff is cheaper stuff as well. Like a lot of it is that most people are going to find, but if you got those sources, then
sorry,
no,
it has its it has its pros and cons. Sending it tracked. The one con that I don't like is like Brad and Jazz are sending theirs as parcels, and then it's more likely to get damage. But I think if they were getting a lot of damage, they wouldn't be doing it. So they must be fine. So, but yeah, I mean, usually if I send mine tracked, I don't use the envelopes. I go and because I barely ever get them or I barely ever do them, I just register them when I go to the post office, which actually costs me like $2 or $3 more. That's just that I want to stop the envelopes. Yeah, it's not worth it for me.
Yeah, and that's right, Jake. If it gets caught, the outlier would be if it gets caught in the machine and just screws it up from there. But how often does that happen? I suppose in the grand scheme of things. That you get more of a chance getting an underpaid notification than you got something getting stuck in the machine.
The one that I've had damaged was my stupid fault. It was that $400 DVD that I sent overseas. And, you have to send them as a parcel. And I'm a dickhead. I just sent it in a bubble mailer. So it got smashed. And but like I've talked about it before, I ended up working out good for me because I got my fees back. I got an extra $60 out of it, basically.
Oh, jeez.
There you go. There's one. Hello, bearded poker tuber. It's good to see you back again. I hope you're well. So I'll give you a customary wave.
Good morning.
New Botox tentacles. Like I said, I don't know Wayno heard. I went to Build-A-Bear and got a bit of Botox there, so they stuffed me back up. Lucky man, Wayno. Yeah, he is because he can sleep until 11 o'clock.
Yesterday I got up at 10. I went back to sleep at 11:30 for 3 hours.
That's the life. I want that life. World domination's hard work. There you go, Blake. You found someone that didn't unsubscribe from you.
Yeah, how good is that? Yeah, that's great. Yeah,
actually,
I agree, Cara. You can buy stuff when it comes to clothing, as long as it's the right piece of clothing. If it's got a little bit of damage that's not too noticeable. Yeah,
and you probably want the seat of the pants not to be blown out as well. What are you saying?
Yes. Yes.
I just clicked. Chris Furlong said last night it was a full moon or something.
Yes.
Blue moon, I think it was something like that.
The last few nights I've been having issues with Nelson. He won't be going to sleep at night time and stuff, and it's like, what the hell are you doing? Like, and I've been up until like 2-3. That's why I've been sleeping in and shit.
That's why you need to get your kids Prozac, mate.
Yeah.
I think you got yourself a werewolf there, Wayno. I don't think it's a dog.
For anyone listening, it's actually Wayno's dog, Nelson. We're not talking about a child. So, yes. He's got a child howling at the moon.
You'll have child services knocking on his door soon enough.
Yeah.
But no, it's probably the same as you and I, Granny. Yeah, how I blame you for everything. It's actually me. So Wayno's probably not sleeping because of the full moon and Nelson's having to go on him.
Could be.
I was talking to Kel last night on the phone and we were arguing over, she's got a 2-year-old. We were arguing over which one would be harder to deal with.
Well, I've seen what your dog eats, mate. I think a 2-year-old would have nothing on your dog.
Yeah.
9 p.m. So where are you, Hilo? Are you towards the center line of America? I can't work out what that would be. Central time, I think it is. I'm not too sure. It's almost 6 p.m. here, so obviously he's towards the middle. I don't know. If you haven't worked out, I didn't pass geography.
I was going to say geography skills are going.
Yeah, it's
not
my cup of tea either.
Like I said, Blake, these eyes are painted on, mate, and obviously the brains are too.
My geography is terrible.
Me too, Jake. Me too, Jake.
I thought Anaheim was in Canada.
No,
that's all right.
Well,
I'm probably going to get.
Sorry, I have this thing when I do my packaging. So regardless, well, not with clothing because it's not going to rattle, but anything else, like I want to package it up so it's secure. So when I put something in a box or, pack it up in a bubble mailer and it's surrounded by bubble wrap or whatever, I give it a shake to make sure it's not going to rattle around. And so the rattle of the DVD is so annoying and sounds like it's loose. So, and that's why I put the band inside.
Yeah, so this is going to sound really stupid. Wayne will probably laugh at this, but that freaks me out. If I shake the DVD, you can hear it, because I think if I shake it too much, it's going to let the DVD loose. But yeah, look how much shaking would that DVD do on its journey to where it's going. Like, yeah, it's just a psychological thing. So I don't do it as a superstition thing, but like Wayne said,
I don't care.
Well, I don't care either. But I kind of freak out thinking, I don't want to shake this thing because it's going to get loose.
I'm going to be really honest. So, like, I don't put stamps on mine. I get the post office to print out the labels. There's been once or twice, where I've got down to the post office and, like, I usually weigh them while I'm waiting for them. So, there's been once or twice in the past where I've noticed a disc loose has come loose, and I just let it go through.
It's someone else's problem there.
Yeah, and like I know from who bought it, like the address. Like I've just done it, so I know if it's like an expensive one or not. So I wouldn't do it. Yeah. It's just like, if they complain, I'll just refund them. I can't be bothered taking it home, repackaging it, back down there.
That's right. Yeah. But I actually had to open up a massive box set. I don't remember Wayno, but I found like a Laurel and Hardy box set at an op shop ages ago for $15, and all the DVDs were loose in it. So I had to rip it out of its plastic and resit them all. So, yeah,
I've had people ask me before, what do you do if you've got a sealed DVD and it's loose? You just open it.
That's right.
There's nothing else you can do. And then you just and half the time it's not even scratched. Like, it's fine. You can just sell it as excellent condition.
I had a loose brand new one a while ago, and my partner was sitting next to me, so I was like, "Oh, here, have a crack at this." And she spent the next half an hour trying to shimmy it around and poke it. She got it. She got it in the end. It was great. Yeah. I was like, she can deal with it. I don't want to.
probably scratch at the buggery trying to get back in as well.
Yeah.
Got positive feedback. I don't care.
That's right. Well, that's all that matters at the end of the day.
I didn't know if it was
I had a positive feedback this morning saying, it was really fast delivered, but unfortunately I can't comment. I'll actually read it. I've got it here. So basically, long story short, I sent them a shirt, which I was glad to get rid of. Great seller with fast post. Unfortunately, I can't comment on the item of clothing as it was stolen off my porch. So that was a positive feedback. So I don't know if I should reach out to her and say, "Hey, look, I'll give you your money back because it's like a $4 cursed shirt." But I don't know. She hasn't reached out to me or anything.
I've thought about
Hello, Mary.
Hello, Mary.
Hi, Mary. I've thought about buying a shrink wrap machine before, because I get a ton of DVDs that are in like mint condition, and I have to list them as used, or very good. I list them as usually. Like, it'd be pretty easy to just buy a shrink wrap machine, get extra $5 or $10 for each of these.
What's wrong? You find that a lot in the gaming market, because apparently the shrink wrap machine wraps it differently to what like a factory does. Like I think they do like a diamond at the top of it. Yeah, so I find a lot of Facebook groups. Yeah,
we used to use one at the video store back in the day, but I had a guy message me an offer, a lowball offer for a Blu-ray that I bought from JB Hi-Fi myself.
Yeah,
and it had like some weird sort of shrink wrap on it. He's like, "Oh, I'm only offering you this because it's clear that you've shrink wrapped this yourself."
Resealed it. Yeah.
And I was like, "Mate, this came from JB Hi-Fi. I bought it myself."
Yeah.
and then I blocked him.
Yeah.
If in doubt,
Best
block.
way to do it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's
That's
it.
definitely.
Mm.
Hi,
Don't be
Riley.
like
How are
me.
you?
Don't give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Hi, Riley. Hi, champs.
Oh god.
Mm.
So there was I think I alluded to it at the start of the thing about a new promotion feature thing. I don't know if it's new, but I haven't seen it before. It's called promoted display. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
No, it's
or not. Promoted display. So it's like in just a few clicks, launch display ads and start driving traffic. So I clicked on it. It's basically a pay-per-click promotion for a category of your store. So if you choose like men's clothing, then you get like an ad that'll be like, check out this category on this store. It's like explore a related store and discover related items, shop a related store. It's like, promoted display ads drive traffic to a category page within your eBay store. All listings in the selected category are showcased to buyers with a pay-per-click model. So it's like promoted listings advanced, but for your category.
So did that pop up in the promotions tab?
Yeah, in the advertising dashboard.
Right.
So I was just having a look at my impressions to see if they'd gone up crap again, and they haven't, thankfully. But it's just like, try promoted display in beta. I was like, no.
I was thinking to myself the other day, because I had a fight with a couple of Americans in a group chat. Oh, sorry, in the one of the live chats. I was trying to fix up Granny's damage that she was been doing to the international market.
Now.
But yeah, they're basically like questioning the pay-per-click. So I don't think it's rolled out. Oh, sorry, the offsite ads. They haven't seen that yet. And I was kind of thinking to myself, well, where could eBay go next? But like I had an INR come through this week, and eBay promised that everyone's going to move onto this new INR system. If you've uploaded tracking within before the item is due, that eBay will take care of it and all those different things. But that's been pushed back to probably indefinite. That's quite quickly how quick that they'll roll out programs that benefit their bottom line. but after it's just ludicrous.
Yeah, and it's so annoying too, because here they keep adding new things, and yet I couldn't do a store newsletter last night.
Yeah.
It wasn't working, and Blake checked it out when I mentioned it, and he couldn't get it to work either. So, fix the things that are broken instead of keeping on bringing in new things, I say.
They keep bringing in new things so people buy items, but they don't make them pay for those items.
Yes.
And I suppose that I've been quite, laid back in this approach, because I kind of think to myself, if you don't want to use promoted listings, don't use them. If you don't want to use pay-per-click, don't do that. But I think it's getting beyond taking the piss now that they're trying to literally,
It's the third kind of promotion now.
That's right. That's exactly right.
You don't
really, when you think about it, it's the fourth, because you've got promoted listings, you've got promoted listings advanced, then you've got the Google ad promotions.
Offsite,
some people could, offsite promotions, and then now you've got this one. So that's 4 different types of things. Like if you were doing all of that, where in the hell are you making a cent?
But I wouldn't have thought, like, for the most part, you see that like people aren't even using the promoted listings advanced, which is the pay-per-click for your item. So why would they use it for a category? They're not using it anyway. Yeah. What's the point?
It's more geared towards either brand new people that don't know any better and going to bankrupt themselves in 3 days, or your companies like Big W or gamesmen that are selling en masse. But even those companies don't sell. Because I compete. My other store competes in a very highly competitive market, and I promote at 2%, and I'm up the top of the search. So that no one else is promoting in that market. So, what were you saying, Wayno? Sorry.
I mean, eBay, they lost money. They didn't lose money. Their revenue was down on the previous year, last year. So they're just trying to, find new ways to make, big companies like eBay. It's not good enough to just plateau. Like they need to make more money each year to keep everyone happy. So they're just going to keep rolling out new things to try and gouge sellers. I think promoted the biggest scam going around. Yeah, it's a way of charging extra fees. I only have 2%. I have it at the absolute lowest, only so people see my other listings, not other people's. And I make plenty of sales. I make if you sell good enough stuff, you don't need to promote.
That's right.
People will want to buy it. And they'll find it. So
I did one of my classic experiments that throttled me store a while ago. I always do it. I always screw myself over. I tried it. I tried promoting it 5% for for a week, and then I tried promoting it 15% just to see if there was any difference. And I made more sales on the 5% than I did with 15.
Yeah.
By the way, when I say I only promote at 2%, I may keep sales, blah blah blah. Like I mainly sell media, so I don't know what it's like for other categories. So.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I mean, books, for example, like when I first started reselling, the average sort of rate that was going around was about 4%. That's now 10%. And that's how much it's gone up in that short period of time. Yes, Anthony, absolutely. That happened to me yesterday. Someone purchased an item, and then when I sent them a message about paying, they said they'd actually found it cheaper and we're going to go with the other sale.
Yeah, it's because they've started doing that thing on the checkout.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what I was just about to say, because I've had a few of those recently as well. It kind of bangs your head against the wall. But like in all honesty, I wouldn't be adverse against if eBay did instant payment on auctions, all those different things, got rid of the promoted listings. I'd be happy to pay 15 or 16%. Just a flat rate, right? So just
Well, I pay a flat 20%. I pay a flat 20% on Poshmark. That's what it is on Poshmark. Like and everyone's like, "Oh, the Poshmark's fees are so high." But like, if you're doing a promoted on top of the eBay, unless you're doing a 7% promoted on eBay, you're paying 20% anyway.
Well, that's exactly right, because you're paying your store fee, you're paying your 30-cent fee, and you're paying all these different things that you quite possibly even plus 15%. People are paying $80 for a store that they mainly have 20 items in. So if you're only selling 20 items, your $80 divided by 20 comes a couple of bucks each, on top of that as well. So that's something you need to look at. So
I think everybody, most resellers would be happy to pay like a slightly higher fee if it was all one rate. Like an all just flat, and this is what it costs. Because at least you know where you stand then. Hi, Jazz.
What I don't understand is I'm listing something and there's literally two of them on eBay, and eBay are recommending that I promote at 10.7%.
Yeah.
Why aren't you recommending I promote at 0?
Yeah.
Like,
because of the category that it's in.
And I'll tell you one other interesting thing about it too, is that there's one category that you can't promote in, and that is religious books and CDs and things like that, like anything classed as religious. You can't promote. Now, if that's the case, and eBay have made the policy that you cannot actually promote it, then they need to promote it to allow people to sell in that category. So I had a heap of Bibles listed in there, and they just weren't moving. But the minute I took them over and put them in books, as opposed to religious books, and promoted them, I can sell them.
Yeah, that could be because of the category as well, because people are just looking for Bibles and books. I wouldn't even know there was a religious category. Maybe you just need to promote the good word more, Leanne.
Well, maybe. But I mean, my theory is, though, that if they were actually giving the religious books a share of the market, people would still find it when they searched, wouldn't they? Regardless of what category it's in.
Well, that's exactly right. It really comes down to it, but I don't know. The churches have no problem promoting their own stuff. Why can't we?
Yeah.
Early eBay buy an ad, which would appear on the first page. It seems. That's exactly right. Remember, there used to be. I'm pretty sure Wayno would remember, but if you hovered over the picture, you could actually pay extra for a gallery view. So basically, the picture would shoot up like bigger.
Yeah.
They used to have they still have subtitles. You don't see subtitles used as much. No, I think I've used them once or twice. But
they're expensive, the subtitles.
Yeah, $2.20.
$2.20. I don't think I've ever seen a listing that has a subtitle. Actually,
I use them. I use them sparingly. Put it that way.
I've never used one.
What was that? Sorry, Wayno?
It used to be 10 cents for a subtitle.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I would use them a bit if they were 10 cents.
But I think what it comes down to is like what Blake was saying, that you hardly see them used. So I think that $2.20 is probably for the exclusivity, because if they're 10 cents each, you just have like a wall of crap text. Because people probably, and I'd be quite curious to see if you could use the subtitles as the as keywords. If you lay them with like keyword heavy, but I'm not too sure if it'll pick it up from that.
I think with all like the different promotions and stuff like that, it depends on what category you're into. But like you'd think like with saturated things like clothing, like I use promoted, that's fine. But as a reseller, I watch and talk to over in America and stuff. He's never promoted, doesn't use coupons, nothing. He still makes 30 sales a day on,
Yeah.
on
Text
clothing.
text pretty important, mate. So
No, I'm not talking about tech.
He does promote.
I was going to say, being a world of hurt if he's only doing 30 listings a day, or 30 sales a day.
Well, it's not bad going. Like he's selling stuff like Ralph Lauren and stuff like that. Like it's saturated stuff, but he's still getting sales over the people that are promoting like 10, 20%. So it just depends on the items you got.
Oh, a lot of it comes down to the title. The titles are number one because it's the keywords will work out oftentimes where it's going to appear in the search.
Oh, you're still talking about your titles. Jeez. Never ends.
Always talking about my titles.
What was that, Wayno? Before she talks about the titles again. Hurry up, quick.
Just with this is a bit different to what Champs has said, but with the people making people pay, like automatically, I don't think it's a good idea because I just think you're going to end up with a lot more returns than an INADS. If someone's not going to pay, they're not going to be happy about being forced to pay for it. Or you're going to get a lot of cancel. Like, can you cancel this and refund me? It's easier just to relist it and block them.
That's right.
And not have to deal with them. It kind of weeds out the bad customers in a way.
Well, and further to what Wayno was saying as well, like, if they did bring that in, eBay would bleed customers because then they would know they had to pay straight up. So you'd have the customer retention issues even more now. And the promoted fees of, 2% will be a minimum of 6% because they've got no customer base to do it. So,
a shorter time period would be good though.
Yeah, it would. Like, I agree to an extent, but I sell a lot on Poshmark as well. They've got the instant thing that people can't send an offer, people can't buy something unless they've got they buy it instantly. I've never had a return on Poshmark, so I know that eBay is a bit different to that, but it seems to work for them as well. But I don't know, there's pros and cons to it.
You need to report them. Like if people don't pay, you like I don't do it, but I'm telling everyone else they should. But I also don't complain about it. So if you want to complain about it, you'd need to report them when they don't pay. If they get a certain amount of non-paying reports, eBay will actually do something about it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't bother me. I don't know why. I don't really care. I do care. Obviously, I'd prefer they pay or whatever, but it's just something that's going to happen. So don't let it work you up. Like what's the point?
I think the main issue I find, the only issue I have with it, I don't mind giving people a bit of time to pay. I guess the issue I have with it is that your item is just sitting there dead for that 4 days. 2 days, I think, is more than enough.
Yeah. And like we talked about numerous times, Leanne, and I think I've spoken about Wayno as well, is that I give them 24 hours, then I relist the item because I can tell, have a gut feeling if they're going to pay or otherwise. You can always go back to their feedback and get a bit general vibe of what's going on. If their feedback says, doesn't pay across the board, I'll relist that item straight away, or I'll move that quantity from 0 to 1. And if they pay, so be it. I'll just delete the listing. But if it's a high ticket item and all those different things, and they've got 4 days to pay, I'm not putting it on the shelf. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not a lay-by or a layaway service. You've got 24 hours to pay. I'll send you a payment reminder, which normally triggers them straight away, and they'll pay within maybe an hour or two after that. If I haven't heard anything or even no correspondence from, I'll relist. 2 days I'll block, then 4 days I'll actually leave feedback. That false negative feedback. Then block them, put them on my like what Wayno said, report them, and off they go. So.
Yes, Ping, we were talking about that in a group I'm in the other night. We can go in to your settings of where it's, I think it's block bids off your Seller Hub page, and you can set it up in there so that if a buyer has two strikes for unpaid items within a certain period of time, and you can choose what that amount of time is, you can actually tick the box, and that will block them from being able to buy items from your store.
No, I don't think it's true.
Yeah, there
you
is.
can.
You can.
We did it.
I only just set it up the other night. Actually, I had no idea about it.
It's in where the block list is. Wayno, I'll send you a screenshot.
Is it new?
No, it's been there for a while. It's just it's really hidden. You're blinking basic kind of thing.
It's not something you're going to just find. Yeah.
Let's go through a lot of settings.
I think it's just worded. I'll try and find it and see what I'm talking about because I don't know what I'm talking about.
I'll bring it up.
I wouldn't. I can't even. I can't think straight at the moment. I just got up.
So, where are we? Yeah. So on the Seller Hub page, there's a section which is shortcuts, and there's one of the headings is block bidders. And when you go into the blocked bidders thing, one of the options is buyer requirements, and you can tick the boxes. Block buyers who caused 2, or you can change it to be what else? You can change it to like 3, 4, 5. So 2, 3, 4, or 5 cancellations of unpaid purchases within, and then you can choose the time. So 1 month, 6 months, 12 months. And what does it say here? This requirement can help you avoid buyers with a history of not paying for the items they have agreed to purchase. And also in that section, you can block buyers whose primary delivery address is in a location I don't post to, and block buyers who are currently winning or have bought one of my items in the last 10 days, and you can change the number. I don't know why you'd want to do that. And only set this requirement to block buyers with a feedback score of less than. So if someone's got less than 5 feedback, you can also block them.
With what Aussie Flippers, the Aussie Nurse Flipper saying is that I haven't. I find a lot of them. Yeah, if that was the case, I'd probably share that buyer's feedback. Buyer's ID just to put it in a group block list because obviously they're doing it for a reason. But generally, these buyers are kind of fly-by-night people that probably use eBay once every blue moon. They don't care enough about the feedback system, but it's just more or less to alert the other sellers that are doing it. So
mine was already set up, so I have seen it before.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a good system. Going back to that, I think Mel touched on that system. That block people that buy X amount over a period of time. If you see, like, the only time that I'd probably use it, if you go into their feedback and you've accepted an offer, they've bought an item, and they've got like a sea of red, you probably want to tick that item so that they don't buy 12 items and hit you with 12 negative feedbacks in one hit. But I've never, I've been selling on eBay since 2006, 2007. I've never used that setting. I've never had an issue with multiple negative feedbacks in that respect as well. But I think that's probably the reason why they're looking at it for. But
yeah, you can actually. There is an exemption list in that same section. So
Blake knows all about that.
Yeah, so you can create an exemption. So if there's a particular buyer that has got bad feed, like that has had 2 cancellations, but say you might know them personally or they've been a good buyer for you, but under that setting, they wouldn't be able to buy off you. You can actually put them on the exemption list, and then they can still come into your store, and buy stuff. So yeah.
But I think that's it for us for another week, Granny.
Yes.
Rolled over for our 1 hour and 17 minutes.
Oh, jeez.
we gave you some
10 minutes.
we gave you some free time because Granny had some technical issues of pressing go live at the start of the stream.
Don't you tell fibs. That's a big fat lie. Okay.
I don't know about that, Granny. But any last questions before we slink off for another week?
I just want to say my telling people not to list. So when I said that in December I stopped listing mid-December, that's like 10 days before Christmas. But I do things differently. I don't do 20 or 30 listings a day or whatever. But I'll get a big lot and I'll do 500 listings in 3 or 4 days. So it's like I don't stop listing. Just things are all over the place with me, basically. So
you're giving everyone a free pass. Woo! Christmas off.
I would hope that everyone took it as you meant it, not as if it gospel that then next week we just get bombarded with, hey, I did what Wayno told me and I've had no sales.
and I list when I can. I'm at home all the time, and if I feel good, I'm listing. If I feel shit, I'm laying on the couch. So I'm always listing when I can. Yeah. So it's not. And it's not like I'm being lazy.
Yeah, and I'll do a shout out to Flipper J, who also commented on our podcast, and he does the same thing for his own reasons. And as I said to him, like the beauty of selling on eBay is that you can have it to suit your own lifestyle. So yeah, hi John, bye John.
Yes, but no, but like I said in last week's podcast, is Wayno brings I suppose I won't say mentality, but I'll use that word anyway. That not many other people talk about. That everyone's just like, put your nose to the grindstone, list. But if that's not what you want to achieve or what you require with your lifestyle, why force that that mentality out there? If Wayno's happy and like you said, he's content, he doesn't need that much money to live on, and that's all he wants from his reselling career. What's that a bad thing for?
I think the best thing.
I think the term is.
But then I've got a buddy, my car's stuffed at the moment, so I got to go that.
I think the terminology you're looking for is different perspective, Octo.
It could be, but like I said, it's just I think each to their own, and like when I said that, he surges, he doesn't sit on his ass 23 hours a day and does nothing. He might list 500 items in a single hit, then not do anything for a week. So
It's part of the reason too. It's part of the reason too. I schedule a lot ahead. It's like I'll do some, like I'll list like 25 to 30 a day, but I might do 120 or 150 in a day and then have them scheduled out and stuff like that. So if I need to do something or I'm not feeling like crap, then I will have
my
a day
main
off.
point. Yeah, my main point was like just do what works for you.
Yeah,
that's the best thing
about
about
reselling.
reselling.
The beauty, yeah.
You got a fan in the chat, Wayno?
Thanks, Jazzy.
But like I said, and I think, and this is going to probably sound horrendous, but I think a lot of people that probably don't want to do eBay probably use that reasoning that Wayno gave as an excuse, like to prevent them from doing listings, I suppose. Wayno doesn't do it, I don't have to do it. Then, when the sales go down the gurgler, they've got really no one to blame by themselves.
Well, the most YouTubers, and I'm not saying this is bad, most YouTubers are telling you, you should do 20 a day, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, which is awesome if you need that motivation and you want to be a full, you want to make lots of money and go hard and stuff. But you don't have to do that if you're not that sort of person or whatever. It's your own situation. It's it's funny. Like I watch, those people that go hard, they actually motivate me to do work. For sure. Even though I'm not like that. So it's just each to their own.
Yeah, but that's exactly right. Just whatever works for you, go from there. If you need to watch YouTubers, and just look at YouTube from a perspective of entertainment purposes only. Don't jump on the board that if it works for this couple or this works for this person or it works for her, I'm going to do that and get the same results. It won't. They won't replicate in the same way.
I mean, there's plenty of good advice, but you still got to work out what works for you.
That's exactly right.
People will hear what they want to hear as well. Like if you tell them that you don't have to do that much or whatever, like if they hear one YouTuber that says you got to do 5 listings a day or one that says 50 and they only want to do 5, then they're going to be like, oh, this person does 5, so I'm going to do 5 each day. And
that becomes the issue, because if they're both listing $10 profit items, the one listing 5 a day is going to have a very different outcome to the one doing 50, aren't they? Like, because if you are only doing 5, but you're still looking for that profit at the end, you need to be listing like $50 items. So
Dazzy's comment there, if you want to scale, that's exactly right. If you want to scale, you need to go hard. I don't. I kind of do in a way. Like, it would be nice to have more money and stuff, but at the same time, I'd rather be happy and not doing it. But if there's lots of people that are driven and they want to scale and build something really big, and that's awesome. You go for it, do it. Like some of my closest friends, like in the reselling community, I like that. Brad and Jazz, Cara, Jada, they're all like that. But I'm just not. That's just not me. So I don't want to have to get a storage unit or a warehouse, or I just want to I'm happy at the level I'm at.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, like I said, that it's not to be seen as a negative thing. If that's what you're content with, that's what your aim is that. Like I was saying, is that I don't want people to be sucked in thinking that they need to do 7 days times 40 listings a day to be somewhat successful. If they only need to get $100 extra a week, there's no use burning through 9 hours for $100. So. But anyway, after that, we'll say goodbye to everyone. So thanks again for watching. We'll see you all again next week.
Hooroo!
All right, bye. Oh, hang on, my Botox tentacle. There it goes. Oh, look, it's got a mind of its own.